Welcome to today's Cybersecurity News Bulletin. We've got a packed show with a cyber attack on a major venture capital firm, a massive data leak in Latvia, the explosive growth of BlackLock Ransomware, and a new macOS malware using sophisticated web injection attacks. Let's dive in. Stay tuned for that, but first a huge thanks to Stonefly for sponsoring this video. Now back to the news. First up, Insight Partners, a massive New York-based venture capital firm managing over $90 billion in assets and invested in hundreds of tech companies globally, suffered a cyber attack in January 2025. The attack, which was a sophisticated social engineering exploit, compromised some of their information systems on January 16th. While they haven't disclosed the exact nature or extent of the stolen data, they've assured stakeholders that, to their knowledge, the attackers no longer have access to their network, and that there's been no disruption to their operations. The investigation, involving leading forensic and e-discovery experts, is ongoing and expected to take several weeks. The use of social engineering highlights the human element in cybersecurity, often the weakest link. Next, a massive data breach in Latvia exposed the personal information of an estimated 25 million individuals, a significant portion of the country's population. The breach centered around Lietvaris, a document management system used extensively by Latvian government agencies and businesses. Security researchers discovered the exposed data, including names, surnames, national identification numbers, and home addresses, on an unsecured Elasticsearch cluster. This data was initially discovered on November 1, 2024. The Latvian software firm ZZDats, the developers of Lietvaris, acted swiftly, securing the exposed cluster within 24 hours. However, the damage is done. The sheer volume of sensitive personal data exposed raises serious concerns about identity theft, fraud, and broader privacy violations. While there's no evidence of data exfiltration yet, the combination of full names, national IDs, and home addresses creates a high-risk profile for those affected. Moving on to BlackLock Ransomware. BlackLock Ransomware, first identified in March 2024, is rapidly becoming a major player in the ransomware-as-a-service landscape. A recent report from cybersecurity firm Lietvaris revealed a shocking 14% surge in BlackLock's activity during the final quarter of 2024, propelling it to the seventh most active ransomware group. This explosive growth is alarming cybersecurity experts. Unlike many ransomware groups that utilize leaked or readily available malware builders, like those associated with Babuk or Lockbit, BlackLock distinguishes itself by developing its own custom malware. This makes it significantly harder for security researchers to analyze, understand its vulnerabilities, and develop effective countermeasures. BlackLock employs a double extortion tactic, encrypting victims' data and simultaneously exfiltrating it. This creates immense pressure to pay the ransom, as the threat of public data exposure is significant. Their custom-built leak site is another key factor in their success. It's designed to obfuscate the scope of the breach, making it harder for victims to assess the damage and increasing the urgency to pay. The group primarily recruits affiliates through the Russian-language cybercriminal forum RAMP, prioritizing speed in recruitment over operational security, suggesting a highly organized and efficient operation. The sophisticated recruitment strategy and custom malware development highlight a level of professionalism and resourcefulness that makes BlackLock a particularly dangerous threat. Finally, a new macOS malware, FrigidStealer, is leveraging sophisticated web injection attacks to compromise systems. This campaign is linked to two cybercriminal groups, TA2726 and TA2727, who are employing techniques previously associated with the notorious TA569 group and their use of SOC Ghoulish. These web injection attacks involve three key components: malicious injects served to website visitors, a traffic distribution service that determines the payload delivered, and the malicious payload itself. Proofpoint researchers suggest TA2726 may be responsible for compromising websites, providing the entry point for these attacks. TA2727, identified in early 2024, demonstrates a multi-platform approach, adapting payloads based on user location and browser. For example, in North America, they used Sogolish, while in the UK and France, they used different fake update chains. The most concerning aspect is the targeting of macOS users with FrigidStealer. The attackers use the same fake update tactic, but the payload delivered is a DMG file containing the malware. This highlights the ability to bypass macOS's gatekeeper security feature with a simple right-click and open action. And now a word from our sponsor. Get a 128 terabytes theme, rubric, Commvault immutable and air-gapped backup, and disaster recovery appliance for $9,995. Contact sales at stonefly.com for details. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check back for more cybersecurity news and analysis. And as always, thanks for